2 of The Cage.
Here we are.
All right, it's
a Saturday night.
October 13th.
Saturday night.
October 13th, Yankees Game 1 versus Detroit. It was an excellent series last night. I'm very relaxed and I have the glasses on and the hat.
Yeah.
And Barry, we're very glad you're here because...
And I'm very happy to be here.
Well, let's put it to you this way. Ring Fever is about, besides the fact that it's about the fans, which everybody already knows that by now, what we're trying to do here is find characters. And Barry, I know a lot of characters.
So we found the character,
and
he's come up with a great idea. And it's called what?
The Rage in the Cage.
Okay, tell us. Then you came up with another idea.
Our idea for Rage is...
Look at the camera.
The fact that, you know, people are disillusioned with certain things, whether it be sporting events, political events, everyday life, their wives, their husbands. Feel free, call in, talk to us. If we can't help you, at least you vent. You get it off your chest. It's a nice feeling to get it off your chest. Everybody wants to have somebody they can talk to. So we're here for you. We have the Solution, otherwise known as Mr. Sean. We have the Bagel King over there, Cliff. And me, I'm just a visitor from another planet.
Barry, I want to talk about you today. I want to talk about your life, okay? First of all,
you want to start from when I was a little boy?
let me set the stage, all right? Barry here is, what are you, 60 years old, Barry?
62.
He's 62, all right?
You're 62?
He's 62, but I got to be honest with you. I know a few people in their 60s or 70s or 50s or whatever it is. I don't know anybody with this man's energy. I only hope I can live like this man at 62 because I can't keep up with him now, and I'm 44, and I can't keep up with him.
That's only because your pockets are too full.
Well, I am the Bagel King.
And you're also a very opinionated character. You know a lot, or a little about a lot.
He knows a little about a lot of things.
I know a little about
a lot about nothing.
I know a lot of
You came up with, I mean, you were the one that called us up a few months ago and you said you guys need a little more, you know, you need a little more content, you need to be a little more organized, so you came here tonight.
And I'm trying
you wanted to talk about 2 different ideas, Rage in the Cage and Engage in the Cage.
Engage in the Cage.
I know it's rhythmic, it's rhyme, you know, and we could modify. But the idea is you want people to feel like people want to feel like they belong. People want to belong to something.
And everybody wants their 15 minutes.
And everybody, exactly. So if you could call up a show or write a blog or write an email to somebody and have it broadcast where other people hear you, you feel good about that. You don't feel isolated. You don't feel alone. So that's my thing about being engaged. And also about the rage part. There's a lot of people that are disillusioned in this world today. You know, be it economy, or sports, umpires, fighters, whatever
politics.
It's about.
We don't want to talk about politics.
We might want to talk about Rage in the Cage.
It's rage.
Well, you can bring up whatever rage
you could talk about anything. If we could talk about it, and if you could talk about it and you want to air it out to us, we're willing to listen. It could be about your wife. It could be about your husband. It could be about your in-laws. It could be about your kids. Anything you want. We're here. We have nothing better to do than to hear from you and what you want to talk about.
And email where? Solution@ringfever.com or the Bagel King, bagelking@ringfever.com. Now, Barry, I want to talk about you. All right? Because you've done some fascinating things. You've lived quite a life. There's no question about it. You've done it all. But can we start about where you're from?
All right.
Let's start from the very beginning.
Try
to keep the people interested.
I'm going to keep it.
He doesn't really remember past Woodstock. He lost.
I'm going to keep it.
Let's move it along.
I'm going to keep it fair.
I want to get to the.
Let's start with the 70s.
I want to get to
the 20s.
Yeah, I want to.
Well, I got to give you a little background. I came from a bad life. My father was a bad guy. You know, my mother was a very strong woman. I got 6 brothers.
Are we going to get a tissue out for you?
And you know, that's the hard part, looking at the camera, but I want to talk to you, but...
You're talking to the people. You're talking to the fans.
I'm talking to the fans. But anyway, so, having a tough upbringing, living in Brooklyn...
what part of Brooklyn?
We moved quite a bit. We were like gypsies. That's where I get my nomad blood from. And basically Bensonhurst and Midwood at Park Slope. But being said that, I grew up as a young child knowing that if I wanted anything in my life, I had to get it myself. No one was giving it to me. I wasn't inheriting a nickel. I wasn't getting an allowance. If I did good in school, it wouldn't fucking matter. So school didn't intrigue me, even though I was a pretty smart kid.
Were you a smart kid?
I was
Did you get good grades?
I was honors math in the...
Wow.
Entered into high school in honors math, and then it took me like 10 years to graduate high school because I cut out. That was the 60s.
Wait a second. Did you say it took you 10 years to graduate?
Well, actually, I should have graduated in 1968, but I graduated in 1970. But that's not, you know,
okay.
2 years later. But
hallucinogenics play any role in that or anything?
Well, you were a child.
Drugs.
You were in the 60s and 70s, which was a totally different.
Drugs, sex, and rock and roll.
Right.
But
Yes,
there
that's
wasn't
your
much
era.
sex as you think there was. But
Okay.
mostly with myself at that time.
Okay.
But that's
And
still
even today.
And even today.
Even today, it's relevant.
I love myself, so what can I
Well,
say?
somebody has to.
But anyway, this is all funny to you, but it wasn't to me. But I was a tough kid, you know, tough as I had to be, little, scrawny, nothing, but wasn't afraid of much. And like I said, I learned to survive.
You were a pitcher, right?
I
You played some
survived.
baseball.
I played some organized ball. I pitched baseball. Loved the sport. Loved the smell of the grass in spring, the leather of the glove, the dirt, and still love it to this day. You can't get that out of your blood.
As is the Yankees are in the background tonight.
And that's why we're here today, actually watching the Yankee game. But in my life, I learned that because I was, you know, survival meant taking it basically day to day. Not letting life beat you down like it normally does. That you're going to have to overcome some things, whether it be your height, your weight, your ethnicity, your looks, your economic background, whatever it is, you have to overcome. And that's why you see some really ugly guys with some really pretty women out there. You know what I mean?
Especially like Palm Beach and Beverly Hills.
Like these two clowns.
You see, Barry, let me interject here for a second. We're trying to figure out a format for this show.
Right.
And we wanted to come up with a storyboard tonight.
Right.
And I said, throw out the storyboard. You know why? This is reality TV. We're just talking right now. And this is what I believe should be the essence of the show. I don't think we need a script. I don't think we need it. You're not an interesting guy, Barry?
Well,
I want to
you
fast
might
forward.
think I'm an interesting guy.
Oh, Barry, everybody thinks you're an interesting guy. I want to fast forward to how old were you? Listen, the guy's done a lot in his life, but I want to fast forward to this one part, because to me, this is the most fascinating. How old were you when you decided, after you were working in the construction field, what? Air conditioning, refrigeration, plumbing, steam fitting, all of this stuff, right? A couple of different marriages, a few different kids, a few different lives, skiing, golf, what else?
A lot of golf.
What else?
Strip clubs, owning
strip club. I mean,
right.
you name it, he's done it. But when did you all of a sudden say to yourself, I want to be a comedian? This is, he turns around and says, I'm going to be a comedian. We all laughed at him. 2 months later, he was at Caroline's Comedy Club. How did that happen?
And you did
how did it make you feel? He did phenomenal.
I woke up one morning after nights of sleepless nights of waking up laughing at stupid stories in my head, saying, I got to put this shit on paper. I got to tell jokes. I got to do something with it. So I decided to become a comedian.
And how old were you, Barry?
And I was, at that stage, I was 60 years old.
60
years
years
old. My 60th year.
So 60 years old, you say, I'm going to be a comedian.
Yeah, I'm going to try it just to see if I could do it. Not to become famous, not to make a lot of money, because trust me, to be famous and make a lot of money in the comedic field, it's like winning the lottery, okay? You got to be lucky, you got to be the right person at the right time, and whatever. Bottom line is, I decided to do it. Took a couple of classes from some lady who was a halfway decent teacher, but it wasn't a matter of teaching me how to be funny. It was her just teaching me how to use a microphone, how not to be nervous, how to make a joke and have it run on throughout your segment, where you start with the joke, tell a few more stories, and finish with the joke. So basically, that was her role. She said to me, I can't teach anyone to be funny. You either are or you aren't. And that was the
Was
essence.
she attractive?
Not at all. Not at all. But a nice woman. Nice
That was an
woman.
excellent question, by the way.
But, yeah, that she was
That's
attractive.
the interview,
That was really
Here's
important.
the solutions.
Because if she was
skills.
attractive, I probably would have tried to hit on her, and I would have probably...
But Barry, I mean, let's face it, being a comedian is probably the hardest thing to do. I mean,
It is the hardest thing.
How scary is that?
Probably the only thing harder for me was playing golf, which is a hard thing to do.
Yeah, it's hard to watch you sometimes play golf, I gotta be honest
But
with you.
comedy is a hard thing because
You got some pair of balls for what
it's
you
just
did.
you going up there
Oh yeah, and you can...
and bearing your soul because you're giving yourself up to ridicule, disdain. Hopefully you get laughter.
Well, the crazy part is that
And-
Barry, once he decided he was going to do this, he took a tremendous shot because he, on his opening night at Caroline's, he invited everyone he knows. And I got to be honest with you, I was nervous for the guy. I said, is he crazy? Doesn't he want to try his skill? Doesn't he want to try his shot in a complete, a stranger audience where you don't know anybody? But you have the audacity to bring everyone you know to the show?
Well, to be honest
Are you crazy?
to be honest with you, it wasn't that I had a choice. It was it wasn't that it was mandatory, but we were asked to bring at least 10 people to the show. Now, in my family, you can't ask 10 people. You either ask everybody or you ask nobody, okay?
Here's where the editing department brings in Barry's show at Caroline's, right?
So you either ask everybody or you ask nobody. Because in Italian families, if you leave somebody out, you got a vendetta, you got people hate you, guys, nobody talks to you for years. So it was everybody. So, and I felt pretty confident on my material. I was pretty good with what I thought I had. I thought it was funny. And you know what? Like art, comedy is the same way. It's subjective. You might think the Mona Lisa is a horrible painting, and somebody thinks it's the greatest work of art ever. And comedy is basically the same thing. You think your stuff is funny, other people might not. You think one joke is funny, but the 19 other jokes sucked. So as long as somebody laughs for every segment you do, you're feeling okay. But that was one of the toughest.
What's going on now in your life?
Right now, I'm living with my ex-wife, who happened to be an exotic dancer. I opened up a gourmet deli in Manhattan. Didn't work out.
That was another thing.
That was at 6.
All right, so that was at 61. What chapter is that?
That was at 61.
Gourmet deli, bagel store deli, chef. Chef, what chapter is that?
I had 2 partners again.
Okay, another
That
chapter.
didn't work out too good. It was
Just another chapter.
whatever. But
So
I would
what
go
happened?
to the bank, to the department.
Now, how many times does this happen?
And I passed the nail salon, so I said, let me go get a manicure. So I get a manicure, and I'm not big on manicures. Being a construction worker, my hands are always beat up. But now I'm going to be in the deli business, so I figured manicures would be something nice to have, So I start getting manicures in this place, and I meet this young Asian woman. Not really, her real name was, I don't know, Yang Sen or something.
You call her Annie or Susie.
So her name was Annie, and I persisted in trying to take her out. So one day she kept saying no. I sent her flowers. It was
Barry, you have to do the way she's supposed to.
Actually, it happened to be
the whole thing, like you did.
It was Mother's Day. I sent her flowers because she has a little girl. So and she was like very taken aback by that. She agreed to go to dinner with me, and we go to Korean barbecue because she didn't want to go to an Italian restaurant. She didn't want to go anywhere where she'd feel uncomfortable. But the condition was we had to bring her daughter with us because she don't leave her daughter with nobody. So we go on a couple of dates, and the next thing I know, the little girl is calling me daddy, and Annie goes, "You don't like?" I said, "No, I don't like."
Oh my God!
You don't like 2 dates and the little kid's calling him daddy.
And
me don't like it. Me don't like it.
So, and I was like, nah, I didn't feel that was the right thing. So eventually that ran its course. But she was a sweet lady. I go back to my childhood where I knew.
Go back to your childhood.
Yes, I am. I'm going back because what you just said.
We brought something up.
What you just said. I knew at a young age I needed to take care of myself. I needed to.
It's a little different today with the kids.
No. My point is this: everybody who has an issue or a problem feels they need to go to someone who has a sheepskin on a wall, or someone who's a star or has fame, and they're going to give you the answer. No, the answer comes from people who lived your life, lived the same kind of thing, been through the same problems as you, how they got through it, how they handled it. Life is experiences, not a fucking diploma on a wall. Some guy who read 100 books based on somebody else's opinions is not the answer for you. Your answer lies somewhere else. Do you not get it?
I agree 1,000%. Cliff, you said a really smart thing yesterday. And you don't really do that too often, but you came up with something pretty smart.
What was
you
that?
said, I don't know, somebody said that if you're going to do something, just do it.
Yes.
Right? What was
that? That was
Yeah.
the college thing yesterday.
Right, Cliff was actually honored. Cliffy was probably the worst student you've ever met. Probably the laziest worker you ever met, because he used to work for me. Now he's a pretty, what would we say that?
He's
successful entrepreneur, or fulminor, whatever you'd like to say. But he got an award from his college.
I mean, imagine that.
That he probably never even attended.
I did attend.
And he got a major award as the
He was the head guy
distinguished
in the
alumni.
distinguished alumni of the Alfred E. Newman College.
Well, what I said
But
was
I do love him.
very simple, and I truly believe this. People ask me my advice a lot of times. I get calls all the time. I want to start a business. I want to open up my own store. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I say one thing. It's very simple.
Just do it.
Education is very important, but if you want to do something, especially here in America, it's a very simple thing. Go do it. It's out there. All you got to do is take it. But you got to work. You got to go.
It's not
you
given
got
to
to
you.
make it happen. You
to
got to take it. You got to grab that brass ring, because it's definitely out there. No matter what, you can make something of yourself here. You just got to go believe and make it happen. Look at us. We never interviewed anybody before in our lives. All of a sudden, we're interviewing MMA stars, wrestling stars. Maybe we're not the best, but guess what? We're doing it. We're doing it.
That's true.
Do we have work to do? Absolutely. And you know what? Maybe you guys can help us out.
This is the beginning.
So again, we're looking for your videos, your comments, your emails, anything that you have that you want to come up with an idea. We're going to read every single one of them. It's not going to be where all of a sudden you email in or send something in. It's not. We're going to be running contests for other people to be interviewing people that they want to interview, because we do a lot of interviews with stars now. And we want to hear from you. You know, we've asked this before. We're just starting out. This is really our pilot. We brought Barry Viola on.
He's got a lot to offer.
He's got a lot to offer. He's probably going to be with us.
You gonna do this again with us, Barry?
Forever.
Be your special guest every once in a while.
Right. Special correspondent?
Whatever, yeah. It could be from the field, yeah.
This is our second one, and you know, we thank you so much for coming on and giving us your life experiences and your advice, which I'm sure will probably help out a couple of people out there.
My life's not over yet.
You know, you're only on chapter 61.
Yeah.
Barry, we like to end the segments with a boom.
Right.
Boom.
So you know what? On three.
Boom.
On three.
Boom.
Go like this. Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Boom.